I forgot my program. That's gonna be up to you now. Is that Kurt Russell? What is that? Like a death proof? What is that, Miles?
It doesn't matter what it is. We're live. Act professional. ZCON changes a man.
It makes you cool.
Makes you cool. Facial scar. Yeah, I got it.
That's a good picture. Yeah. Is that your alter ego? What's going on there? I don't know.
Maybe when I'm drinking. All right.
Yeah.
So welcome to another episode of the Nissan Nerd Podcast. We got a lot to go over here today. A lot of events that we want to cover, some stories that we want to talk about, some that we shouldn't talk about. Mike, what are we talking about for topics today?
All right. On the show today, guys, we are going to congratulate Nissan for their Tennessee plant winning an award for the highest OEM quality possible. Miles, you have that article. We're going to cover the e.dams team at Formula E, which was the last race of the 2021 season. We'll get into that. And later, Miles, we're going to recap our road trip for all these fine people watching with us to ZCON 2021, Colorado Springs, the things we should say and the things that we shouldn't say. We're going to do it all as part of our back alley chat. So coming up, guys, thanks for being here. Let's go ahead and get started with the Nissan Nerd Pod. Are you getting tired of that song yet, Miles?
No, well, we probably need an upgrade one of these days when we actually have a budget to buy music.
That's fair.
We'll come up with a little jingle. There you go.
A jingle.
So, a jingle, if you will. I'm sure we can. We'll do like one of those little radio ads.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what that sound like.
The world looked mighty good to me. Tootsie Rolls are raw. See, that's it. That's it. $1 million.
Nissan Nerd Podcast, just like that. Yeah.
I just make magic all day long. So
you said you do two things: make magic and drink beer, right?
I do. I do both of them very well. Well, before we get into too much here today and acknowledge all of our guests and folks that are coming on to join us today, we have a special guest in the house. And I don't mean high case special. I mean lowercase special.
Yep.
One of our good friends joining us who was actually part of our recent road trip here to ZCON, Ion.
It seemed only fitting. You're absolutely right. It seemed only fitting the fact that he had to endure hell with us for the whole week that we at least give him the opportunity to at least have fun with us on the show at least. So yes, like you said, this is Ion, our buddy, fellow Nissan nerd. Here you are. Hey,
here's all.
Oh, he's already drinking. Oh.
He's drinking already.
We're gonna get the dirty onion. All right. We always call Ion onion, so we got the dirty onion working for us. While we're on the subject of saluting, we might as well get that out of the way. Mike, you know what, Ion? I'll let you take this one. You've watched enough of the shows. What do we do here when we're doing our compi?
Say what you want to say, man. You
say what you want to say.
Give your salute, buddy.
Let the love flow.
Hey, we had a fun ass time during the our trip. I just want to say, hey, kampai.
Kampai.
Kampai. Woo!
Salute those in the Nissan family who we wish good health, and those that we may have lost, and may be reminded of them often.
Mm-hmm. Clink. Nicely said, buddy. Before we continue doing what we want to do, I want to give a quick shout out to those that are online with us.
Boom.
Of course, we're streaming this through Facebook Live at the time, and our comment section is already blowing up. Got some good guys here with us. Want to give a shout out to, I'll just do a quick rundown. Our buddy Ben Kemper saying, hey guys. We've got Kirk saying, what's up? Aman.
Love you. Kirk, love you. Tim O'Connor, the Woodster in the house. Aman, love you as always. He gives us so much amazing content. Woody makes amazing car parts for the Z32 if you hit him up. John, just a cool mofo all to begin with.
What's happening?
Kirk, what's up, Kirk? Cade. Oh, damn.
Oh, Cade's in the house.
Oh, wow. Nice.
just meeting Kay during ZCON. So we had a lot of new friends from ZCON joining us tonight. So I'm glad to hear that. Thanks for being here with us, guys. We're
business in the front, party in the back. Cade. Eric as well, thank you. As you begin to stumble into this bar, if you will, that is the Nissan Nerd Podcast, thank you again for all the support. And let's start getting into some factual data. So, Mike, what are we covering today?
All right, so let's go get right into it. Like you said, we're going to get into some news articles, guys, and we'll start with that, and let's see where the night takes us, right? If you play your cards right.
Excuse me. It's ladies' night here, apparently. All right.
I'm going to share my screen here, guys. So I have the first article for the night. Let's go ahead and get this started. Let me know if you can see that. There you go. All right. Nissan news. We called it the GTR takes its top off. Let me explain. Let's just see how it goes from there. What's funny, this article I found through Yahoo. However, the what we're referring to is a YouTube channel, which I've seen before, and they're actually doing a Nissan build right now. So what we're talking about is a YouTube channel called B is for Build. You can check them out. The host or owner of B is for Build is Chris Steinbacher, and he's based out of the Portland, Oregon area. What he's doing right now is doing essentially, first of all, his builds are insane. This isn't this first rodeo. He's been doing builds for a long time. I think the channel's been in operation since 2015. But anyway, what's Nissan related is what he's doing here. He is taking two, let's just say, salvage cars, one being an R34 Nissan GTR, and then the other one being an R35 GTR. And he's taking the two and making one good one, essentially. I've got a video here. I'm going to let this run in the background. You can kind of see what he's up to. But what he's doing, he's got a chassis of an R35. His goal right now is to take the chassis, the powertrain, and the interior from the Nissan GTR, and he's going to fit the shell of the R34 on top of it. So essentially you have all the performance of a brand new GTR. This was a 2015 model, and he's going to have the nostalgic look of the R34 GTR, the one that we never got in the United States, for God's sake. So one, it's sought after, and secondly, it's just as rare as it is. So this video or this series that he had is just getting started. I believe he's just about a month into this build. And as you can see, it involves bravery in general, guys. I mean, imagine buying any car, salvage, much as a GTR. You obviously, these cars are six-figure cars from the dealership. These aren't cheap, even from a salvage yard. And then just taking a Sawzall and going to town on this thing. He's removing, I'll kind of fast forward what I can here. But again, it's part of that surgery that he's doing to make these cars into one just beast of a car. And what I should mention, though, is that this build that he's doing is scheduled, if everything goes right, this build will be at SEMA this year, which is about 90 days away. So this build is happening very, very fast, as you can see here. Again, he's got a fast-forward video here. I'm going to share another one here. This is the R34 build as well. Can y'all guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. Anyway, taking the two, again, making one. I believe it takes a lot of bravery. Again, this isn't his first rodeo, though. I've seen him do similar projects, primarily with a Mustang, I think I'd seen in the past. And it just really got my attention.
I remember that.
I saw them do the Huracan with the Lamborghini Huracan with a, he did like an off-road package on it. Insane build. Takes a lot of, like you said, gumption. My word. But yeah, I mean, super cool stuff. I mean, interesting to say the least. It's always, some of these builds, you know, time after time just gets a little, I don't know, it gets a little mundane. You can only see so many body kit swaps, so you're just like, oh, yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. Engine swaps get a little more interesting, raises a higher eyebrow, but when you get into these really crazy ones where you're doing a full off swap, it, it started off with being extremely popular. Like you'd have guys that used to take like Shelby fastbacks, and then they would convert it with a completely newer we'll call it a powertrain and the entire body train. And if I'm just making up my own language now, but they would take the entire body and then they would just find a way to just kind of chop that, make that apply to the body, and then stretch out the body where they needed to. It's gotten really popular over the last, I don't want to say about 10 years plus, but amazing to kind of see that. I think especially with the whole domestic market reintroducing all the old models back. I think that kind of started it, and then now you're starting to see some really crazy stuff trickle into the import world, and so to see them kind of start doing this stuff is pretty interesting. So I mean, kudos to him. Keep your eye out on the builds. But I can't wait to see them finish it out. So SEMA's going to be really fun.
Yep, you mentioned something there too. You're right, though. Engine swaps are one thing, but a chassis swap or body swap, however you want to call it, I mean, that takes a lot of bravery for one. It takes a lot of skill too. I mean, granted, he's got big plans for this thing. I'm sure with whatever the business model is, they can handle it. Again, this isn't the first time they've done it. So.
And some of these, it's like, I mean, it's there's a great amount of interest that is done in it, and a lot of hopes and dreams go into these. But there is a lot of skill that goes into these if you're going to build them right, build them safely, because some of these are amazing, but I don't know if I would want to be in some of them. These ones actually look like caliber, which is why we're actually talking about it here on the show. So pretty cool.
Absolutely,
pretty cool thing to check out. So,
here it comes. Here it comes. All right, front end being rolled away.
You know what this reminds me of? When they used to start selling clips back in the day of the 240s, when people would buy it with the SR20, and then they were too lazy to do the entire front conversion swap.
The right hand drive swap.
S14. The guys would just do this. They would just chop it off and they just weld it all back together. And it wasn't a big deal until we found out about it in the insurance world. And then you would have, the front part of your car would just walk away from the other part of the car, or get hit in an accident. And it would do, and you laugh, but man, it happened. And you know where it happened primarily at?
Firewall
primarily happened with the Nissan 240. I still have the article buried somewhere, and then a Subaru Impreza as well. Like they were just doing that rally car, and some guy just chopped. They were chopping the cars in half back in the day because you weren't buying the entire car. If you bought it in parts, if you chopped it in the middle, it was considered a parts car. So what did these guys would do when they would come off of the containers? They get it, stick them back together, weld it together, boom. Yep. Boom, and then you got your brand new car. And then not only was it illegal, but there was also a safety concern. And apparently one of those ended up causing a fatalities. So,
that's absolutely. I mean, I remember doing that. I remember that was essentially the gray area that people would do that to essentially maybe claim it as a kit car. This is before the 25-year rule. If you wanted to get a car from Japan or wherever it was from, earlier than 25 years because of the 25 export importation rule, you would do that. You would do just that. You would literally cut the car in half or a section of it or completely disassemble it, deliver it overseas as parts, and then assemble it in your garage,
Yep. So, I mean, those guys were doing all kinds of crazy stuff back then and all types of sketchy things. And, albeit, was it cool? Yeah, it was pretty cool. But, did there need to be some safety constraints and some laws and some things that came in to protect people from themselves or selling these to unsuspecting future owners? Probably.
Yeah. Well, and that's the cool thing about the internet now, too, is that with the internet, at least with like these guys are, first of all, I mean, the fact that they've been doing it, and much less they're documenting the entire build, I feel like maybe there's a better level of confidence. If that car was to be resold, you could literally say, "Hey, go to our site and watch the 15 episodes we did on it."
History.
And the history of the car,
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. The guys that are doing it in their backyard, without a YouTube channel back in the 90s.
What did you used to call it back in the day? It's for off-road use. Remember,
Off-road.
everything that came from Japan was off-road use. It was not any part crew you ever. It was off-road use. There's no warranty. If you die, it's not our fault. So
I mean, to be fair, that phrase has kind of stuck with any aftermarket part now.
Oh yeah,
I feel like it's come from that, but
yeah, true, yeah. So, John had a question again. John was asking what was the page? It was actually B for Builds.
Yes.
And you can check out. You can start with the Facebook page, work your way up from there. I think it's also on YouTube as well. So pretty cool stuff.
YouTube, B is for Build. That's probably the best way you can look at it. This project is currently in process. By no means is it completed yet, so you can kind of follow it in real time. We definitely encourage it. I know I will. And again, YouTube channel, B is for Build. The videos in general, so far they've done about 8 videos, and the way they present these videos, they're typically about 20 minutes long, give or take. So if you got some time, check them out. Subscribe to them. I mean, I would say have no problem saying to subscribe to this guy. I mean, again, it takes a lot of gumption.
Gumption. Yeah. So if anything, it gets you a chance to check out what a gutted out, 34 is going to look like. So enjoy. Merry Christmas.
You have to say there's some sort of there's a sense of finality cutting into these chassis.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's no going back. There is no going back. With an engine swap, you can kind of decide. Okay, well, again, pending any type of die grinder modification. You can kind of go backwards back to OEM, but when you do this, there's no going back whatsoever.
All right, moving on. We got to hear to the next one. Good find though, Mike. Pretty cool.
Thanks,
so we got a little bit of news to kind of cover, and Mike, go ahead and give me the steering wheel so I can share my new article that we want to kind of go over with.
Sure. Where are you at there?
News. Yeah, check it out.
There you are. All right, here we go.
All right, so some news. Nissan actually received a pretty prestigious award actually in the last month. So the results are in. I'm going to read this to you. It's not very long, but the results are in. Nissan has recorded remarkable gains in J.D. Power and Associates 2021 initial quality study. So the Smyrna plant actually ended up coming. Well,
you're right.
I'm good. The Smyrna plant actually ended up receiving an award. They ranked first in quality and performance among North American manufacturers. So primarily for the Murano, but a lot of the models that came through ended up just having exceeding quality this time around. So I wanted to read something that the Nissan Smyrna vehicle assembly plant had put out here this week. Additionally, the J.D. Power and Associates is the industry benchmark of new vehicle quality by measuring the number of problems experienced per 100 vehicles, pph, during the first 90 days of ownership, with a lower score reflecting higher quality. And this comes from Jeff Younger. Youngner, my apologies. The Smyrna team is incredibly focused on building exceptional vehicles that are driven on roads across the country and all over the world. This recognition is a testament to their one team spirit and pride in delivering products with great quality and reliability. So very cool award to attain to. I can tell you J.D. Power Associates is probably one of the highest levels you can get when it comes to the industry. So that takes a lot to achieve. So kudos to Nissan for pulling that out of their hat, especially in a year where they're recovering, so.
Absolutely, man. So I try to do a little research on this myself, man. The Smyrna plant in Tennessee, I was trying to figure out what cars do they make. And when I found this out, they make 6 different Nissan models in one plant, which for anybody who knows that industry is insane. You've got the Nissan Leaf, the Maxima, Murano, Pathfinder, Rogue, and then also the Infiniti QX60. So for them to receive that award amongst not only the complexity of trying to assemble one car, but 6 different models of car in one factory, that takes a lot of determination, a lot of continuous improvement for them to have gotten that award. And it's not a model award. Yes, the logistics are crazy. Not only that, and this award is not for a vehicle, it's for the plants. I mean, so this is way more, I think, meaningful, So for any of you guys that are out there that own one of these vehicles, take some pride, or if you're looking into purchasing a new Leaf, Maximo, Rano, Pathfinder, Rogue, any of those cars, I think you can rest assured that the quality level is going to be top-notch.
Yeah, and kind of going back to our previous episodes that we've talked about in the past, we early on when we were starting this podcast, Nissan was going through this entire redevelopment plan internally. Now they've coined it as the Nissan Next. Basically, it was when their transformation is what they're coining that out. There's a quote here to be my last thing here. Delivering top quality for our customers has been a key element in the total brand transformation we now call the Nissan Next. So this performance is possible by a united design, engineering, and manufacturing team focused on making the best vehicles for our customers. I mean, yeah. So kudos to them. Again, really awesome thing to see from Nissan, especially with a lot of the kicking that was happening early on, the latter part of 2020 and, of course, the beginning of 2021. It's kind of nice to say, well, does your brand that you support have a issues goal? I don't know. Nothing but bling, baby. Nothing but bling. What's up?
They're definitely flexing with that trophy now, right? I'm pretty sure it's walking around. Oh, do you have this award for 2021? Oh no, I didn't think so.
I didn't think so. But yeah, kudos to them. Yeah.
Playing smug, being smug. I mean, I would. I mean, to get an award of that level, I'd be like, oh, you haven't gotten one yet? Oh, what? I thought they gave them to anybody. Right. Oh, wait, they didn't. Yeah.
Oh, watch your wallets, guys. There's poor people around. Like All right. So now we've got to talk a little bit about running the gamut. We've got to do news in 60 seconds, man.
We sure do. So, guys, I think I've explained this before. Obviously, within every time we do these episodes, there's so much news happening. We can't cover it all, but we try to. And this is what we call a flash round called News in 60 Seconds. So I want to mention a few articles quickly. Yes. I forgot about the theme song. Yes.
Dude, I have a theme song for every single thing, Mike.
Oh, great. That's mine. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, that is you. That is all you. I'll give you one more.
Thanks so much.
News in 60 seconds.
You make me so happy.
Yeah, Ion, you're on the clock. You have to watch Mike and keep him on task. All right, Mike, you got your articles ready?
I've got 2 articles. Now, the first one is going to be... give me 2 minutes.
And go.
All right, first one. Surprise, it's Z-Watch. We're talking about... Now, there are so many articles happening right now with the new Model Z that there's no way we can cover them. So I'm going to just give you guys a few quick highlights, even quotes from the chief designers of this car themselves to kind of communicate what this whole new Z car is about. From who we call Tamura-san, he has a few interviews and quotes that really summed up the car. I want to mention them. First one is he wants to say that the new Z is like a dance partner. When you're thinking of this new Z car, think about the fine line that you drive with this car and just the dancing. There you go. Ion's got it in mind. The dancing that you make with this car. It's just a wonderful... again, whenever you get the chance to see it, it's just wonderful for one. Second thing is that he says that they are not concerned with 0 to 60 times. Now, we do know that the new Z has up to 400 horsepower from the dealership floor room, but it's not important. What he's talking about, what's more important to him is to enjoy the conversation with the car.
You're done.
Hey, he just wants to see people smile, and so do I.
All right. Oh, you're losing time. 60 seconds. And next, go.
Next one. We do have another one here. We're going to call this one Nissan Skyline returns to the U.S., and we're going to put an asterisk on this one. So this is a follow-up from the last time we talked about this regarding trademarks in the U.S. for the name Skyline. We talked last time that Ford had trademarked the name Skyline for cars, which was kind of odd. We don't know what they're going to do with that yet. We kind of feel like it's a dig for Ford's doing. We don't know what's happening just yet. However, Nissan did get their own trademark for Skyline in the U.S. Now, it's not for cars. It's actually for toys in general, mini cars, little trinkets that have the name Skyline. So I think part of this is a response to what Ford had done. And some of it, who knows, maybe it is a strategy, what we can see in the future for the name Skyline in the U.S. So this belongs to Nissan in the category of toys, models, mini cars, etc. What they also did, Nissan, is that they did trademark the Skyline name in Canada as a vehicle. So Ford may have it in the U.S., but not in Canada. So I think Nissan did something there to kind of cover their ass a little bit, which I really like. So what I'd like to say at the end, some of all this is your move, Ford. Your move.
You're done. Your move, Ford. You're done. All right, next. 60 seconds.
That is news in 60 seconds. Honestly, guys, it was meant to be quick.
Job, man.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
So quick. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. So much. From online, guys, again, if you are online with us, thanks for being here. Comment in the put a comment below, and we'd be glad to share it with you guys throughout the show. Aman here says, yes, of course, the Ford is on crack lately. I don't know what they're doing. I guess it remains to see what's going to happen on that one.
Hey, let's make all of our trucks our most rugged vehicle. Let's make it out of aluminum and see what happens.
Talking about the aluminum bed. Have you seen the videos of that? Okay, this is not the Ford podcast. Sorry.
Dude, last one, I was still looking at property damage and collisions. Man, those Fords would just open up like can openers, man. It was just crazy. Like entire vehicles, sides of them would just shave. The doors would just boop, gone. And you're just like, what is going on? Oh, it's the aluminum chassis Ford. Yeah.
That wasn't a smart move. I think that was common sense, man. So there was some guy inside their design team that was like, guys, just hear me out. And then like he's fired now. He lives in a street somewhere in an alley.
Yeah, he's out there homeless at this point. So yeah. But yeah, very cool. Yeah, man, I like the news this week. Ion, you doing good, buddy?
I'm doing great.
Well, we got a few more things to go in here too, and we still got to do our recap of ZCON, which is going to be pretty interesting here in just a little bit. We got to run through motorsports real quick.
Yes.
A lot of cool things actually happened with Super GT that I kind of want to go over with if we've got a few moments.
Sure
Super
do.
GT, especially Nissan, had an outstanding round here recently. Let me see here. I want to show you something that you're going to love. Oh. All right, I'm going to let this run in the background while we go. So round 3 for the Super GT. Again, this was a makeup round for the Super GT 2021 because round 3 was actually canceled due to COVID restrictions that were put into place in Japan at the time. But no, let's let the Olympics run free, but let's go ahead and shut down Super GT.
I was very disappointed by this. Yeah.
No big deal. That's all right. But political influence. But anyway, moving right along. Round 3 finally made its way at Suzuka for a stellar day for Nissan. By chance. So Nissan actually ran the entire time, as you can see, ahead of the pack, really aggressively. And for those that don't know Super GT, we've got GT 500 and the GT 300 class. Both classes run at the track at the same time. But as the results came in, the Motul Alltech GTR took it all with Matsuda and Quintarelli taking the first position on this one. They came in with just with the number 23 car. And then Craft Sports with the Motul GTR came in second place. And then third, the Realize Corporation, which is actually the Advan GTR, came in third. So a 1-2 3 finish for the 500 class on round 3 at Suzuka, which is insane for that to happen. That
3
hasn't happened.
GTRs, 1, 2, 3.
3 GTRs, yeah, it's just insane for something like that to happen. I am so surprised that we're not seeing more of it here stateside. But then
I wish we
again,
did.
the
Yeah.
GT isn't that
For
promoted
sure.
as much as we would love. But that is just insane for that to happen in motorsports like that. Of course, Nissan is throwing a lot at the 500 series this year. Let's talk a little bit about what happened with the 300 series. Little bit of the love was kind of cut back on the 300 series, but the Realize Automobile Technical College GTR, which dominated last year in the 300 series, they didn't do too bad. They came in 8th this series around. From there, unfortunately, we didn't get where we wanted to be. On the 11th place, that was the Impool GTR. And then working our way down the line, we didn't have another GTR place until 22, which was the run up. So yeah, not the best day for the 300s, but for the 500, stellar, absolutely stellar show of racing. So yeah, for those that continue to check that out, you can find it through supergt.net. You can find all of the racing live initially, but it's with, of course, it's all in Japanese. And then give it a few days. Usually, you're going to be able to find the Americanized or the English version of it within a few days later after they've had an opportunity to go back and redub that. So, yeah, very cool thing to check out. The link is actually on our Nissan Nerd podcast page if you want to go out and check that out. So,
hey, so you said on the GT 300 class, one of the winners. I'm sorry. One of the teams was a technical college. You said.
Correct. Yeah, we talked about it previously. The Realize College is a technical college that Nissan puts together.
Okay.
And last year, I think they ended up taking the whole thing in 300 class. So they did really, really well. So
What I was thinking about it was just thinking about the name technical college. It's not a regular college, it's a technical college. So to get beat by a technical college, is there shame for the competition to get beat by a technical college in a GTR?
I see what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
We're trying to poke the bear. Why you
But like regular colleges are saying that you can do anything, right? Anything you want. We're a college. The technical college comes around and says you can do 8 things. It's just
I'm gonna say their version of colleges are a lot cooler than our versions of
colleges. Japanese technical colleges are probably better than the U.S. colleges. But I imagine, obviously, one of the things that they're doing very well is building super GT cars. So, hey, I would go there. How about you?
Sure. I mean, I thought about being an X-ray tech, but then I realized that there's a Japanese college that lets me build JGTC cars. Are you high? Come on, of course that's cooler. Much cooler. Truck driving college? What's wrong with you?
Truck driving
college? Yeah, I'm going to go to clown college? Come on now. Who's not like that? Jesus Christ, Mike.
Oh my God.
But yeah, again, if you get a chance, definitely check out the whole race. It is amazing. And like I said, the link on our page is there. I would highly recommend you go through it. And it's just a very cool thing to check out for JTTC this year. So cool.
Very cool, man. Thanks for recapping Super GT for us, man.
No problem.
Oh,
what's happening in the world of e.dams?
Yes. So Formula E, Nissan's team, the e.dams team, just recently, honestly, this was the last 2 rounds of the 2021 season. Let me go ahead and share my screen on this. I'm going to let this run in the background, but what I want to do, of course, is sum up the last 2 races of the season and how Nissan did with their e.dams team. We're talking about round 14 and 15 happening in Berlin, and coincidentally, I had never seen this happen before. This race, you'll see in this video, is at an airport. They took like an airstrip and created this route, put a whole pit row and grandstands, which was pretty cool. I liked it. I think it was pretty cool. So I'm gonna let this run in the background, and let's go ahead and get into business here. So regarding the e.dams team, round 14, this was on the Saturday. Buemi, of course, we're always talking about Sebastian Buemi and Oliver Rowland, our two drivers. Buemi qualified 6th. Rowland qualified 11th. Getting into the race, honestly, yeah, you can see what's happening here. A lot of change-ups this race here. See, there's the two e.dams, our two drivers getting the attack mode at the same time.
Getting the red turtle shell from, as we always joke about it. For those that don't know what we're talking about, Nissan e.dams, is these are obviously e-vehicles, so they actually can jump over these little booster pads, and it gives them a little bit of extra strength. It gives them that star power that you would kind of get in Mario Kart, so it gives them a little boost. So yeah, very, very cool.
Did you see that airplane in the background? The way they positioned it, the kind of
Yeah.
it was kind of scenic though. I thought it was pretty clever.
Poor bastards that are sitting on it waiting for their flight to take off. Mommy, what are we leaving?
These damn cars are in my way. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe tomorrow,
Right. Okay, so getting back to our two drivers, though, of course, they qualified 6th and 11th. As they started this race, for majority, you can say very early on, they kind of were actually rolling together. As you saw them, they had an 8th and 9th position kind of rolling together. Soon enough, though, they were kind of split with the competition. Ultimately, they finished the race in 11th and 13th place. That being said, anything outside of 10th position gets you 0 points. So for Saturday, no points for Nissan. However, Sunday, round 15 on the same track, we did much, much better. So getting into the Sunday race, Buemi qualified 8th, and Oliver Rowland qualified 2nd. He did a wonderful qualifying, started in 2nd. He maintained that position throughout the race fairly well. There was a point where he kind of dropped about 4th, but near the end, man, he had a great set of overtakes to get back into 2nd. And actually, at one point, he was just on the charge. He had almost got into 1st place. Ultimately, didn't happen. However, he did finish in 2nd place, bringing home 18 points for Nissan on Sunday. With the e.dams team, Buemi finished in 14th, not bringing any points, unfortunately. So for the weekend, 18 points for Nissan. The good news is there were no crashes, there were no qualifications, which has kind of been a trend this year, unfortunately. We talked in the past about the bad luck that Nissan's been having with the e.dams team this year.
Yeah, it was like every time we would get a freaking amazing win, they'd be like, oh, guess what? You guys used 0.5% more power, and we're going to go ahead and knock you down 14 positions. And you're just like, what the? Lame.
It's for a number of reasons, and that's one of them. This season hasn't really been the best, but I think the following these upcoming years should be better. The bad news is that season 7 is over. This was the last races of 2021. Nissan.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I know. Nissan as a constructor. What sound was that?
I dusted off the old dirty trombone.
Oh.
Is that what it's called? Is that what the kids are calling it these days? Dirty trombone?
That's a trombone. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Do that motion one more time.
No. I'll believe you.
Moving on. So,
okay. So yes. So Nissan as a constructor finished in 10th position, 10th place out of the 12 teams. They were in 10th, which wasn't. It was disappointing. Let's just be honest. This has been, sadly, their worst finish ever. They've been in the e.dams team has been in Formula E since the very beginning, these last 7 seasons. And I did some research on this. This was actually pretty cool. The e.dams team, I'm just going to run down. They were actually first place the first 3 years of e.dams. As a constructor, they were killing it the first 3 years. And the last 4 years has been 5th place, 4th place, 2nd place, and now 10th place. So this year really has been probably unexpected, honestly. I mean, they've been fairly good. This has just been a really bad season. But again, I think majority of it is due to those disqualifications and just a series of bad luck in general. So for 2022, this upcoming season, there is a lot of, I'm sure, of optimism of getting back to normal. So that is your 2021 season.
I heard there's a rumor for a possible driver changeup as well.
Yes. So, of course, this whole time we've been talking about Oliver Rowland and Sebastian Buemi.
Good old
there
Steve
is
Steve Buscemi.
Steve,
Good old Steve Buscemi, just killing it.
Sebastian Buemi. Yeah, that is fairly close.
For those that don't know, Steve Buscemi, who was also in Fargo, is an ass kicker on the track. Don't discard old. What was it, Mr. Pink?
Mr. Pink.
Mr. Pink kicks ass on the track.
Don't write him off. Don't write him off.
Don't write him off. He's an ass kicker. Watch out.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Use the right name. Steve Buscemi.
Yes.
Moving on.
Yes. So you are right, though. Talking about a driver change, this is going to take some time for us to get accustomed to this, Miles. But Oliver Rowland has moved on. He is going to a different Formula E team for 2022. Yeah. Now, which is kind of is curious. I was trying to figure out why in general, because
he kicks ass. Honestly,
he does.
He did great the entire season.
He's been a very consistent driver. He really has. He just finished second place in the last race. So I mean, it was. I had to try to do some digging, trying to figure out. I still couldn't figure out the answer. Why he had moved on from the e.dams team, though. But we do need to welcome the new driver, he is no stranger to Formula E. His name is Maximilian Gunther, your new e.dams Formula E driver. It's gonna be kind of fun talking about Gunther for the next year. So let's get our accents right. I think.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
It's good. That's good. Fun.
I shouldn't be, because that's like the yeppa for us in the Hispanic community. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it alone. We're not going to play on stereotypes. We're going to give old Maximilian Gunther the opportunity to prove himself. I'm sure he's going to kick some butt. So I'm going to leave it at that.
I'm sure he's going to be wunderbar. How about that one? Wonderful.
Nice
one. Yeah, good. And on a high note, let's go with that one.
Moving on. We're going to drop
Moving on.
But till next season, super excited about seeing next season come out. And honestly, I've enjoyed the racing. For those that didn't get a chance to check it out, or you think you're too high and mighty to check out the electric stuff, trust me, there's some pretty good competition in it. I've enjoyed a lot of the coverage.
Yep.
And it's been back to back. So they've been putting these teams through the ringer. It was like back to back races, and you could tell everybody was burnt out from the commentators to the teams. I mean, they were just like poor guys, just destroyed, especially in the age of COVID. But I really enjoyed the racing this year. You and me, Mike, we watched a lot of it. We watched a lot of the coverage, and so for Nissan to hopefully come back next year and put put that money back up and make sure that they've got that plant in racing, I'm super excited about it. So yeah, awesome.
Same here, man. I think obviously it's you mentioned the pandemic. It is a challenge no matter what job you have, and then these guys are traveling all across the world to do these things and trying to perform, week in, week out. It takes a lot. So I'm obviously, the bias aside, I know Nissan's track record in Formula E. I know they have the potential. They've got it. I just found out too. Sebastian Buemi. He is the winningest driver in Formula E. He's like the Lewis Hamilton of Formula E. Sorry, yeah. So imagine that. So we've got a rock star on our team, man. Yeah. We have the potential. It's going to happen.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, I'm going to nerd out for a second here. Okay. Remember who we were supposed to get on the e.dams team with Buemi, potentially? Yeah. Remember? The kid from F1 that was in F1 for
Alex Albon.
Boom, we were supposed to get Albon. Yep. Albon walked away from that to take on F1. How dare he?
How dare you
leave e.dams to go to F1?
You know what I liked about that, though? Did you ever notice what his car number was in Formula One?
I did. He was a little bit of a Nissan fan.
23.
Yeah, that's it.
Albon was 23.
Even though you didn't do you didn't do what you wanted in F1, and you didn't get the love that you needed over there, we're going to give you a little shout out.
Little Nissan love from Alex in F1. So small tidbit information. It might be useless, but I love it.
Yeah, for real. We love him anyway, man. He was going to be potentially the greatest e.dam driver that ever lived.
Hey, you never know. He might come back to it.
He can, because you know what? He's a backup driver right now. Who knows where he'll end up in the upcoming years? So I wouldn't.
Are you following? Oh, you got a little man crush?
No. They just had him. I follow F1 as well, and he was in the pits at the Belgium race that just happened this last Sunday. So I saw the dude. That's all. Well, not in person, but
whoa.
Whoa.
Where are we going here?
You always like to twist those things, Miles. Yeah.
I can stick it in and twist it. Anyway, before we get on to probably our funnest section, because we are going to recap some ZCON news. Probably more than we want to, and we're probably going to throw some dirt out at each other, and it's going to get ugly. We might lose some friendships here. We might talk a lot of trash on each other, but before we get into that, let's check comments, and then we will get into the dirty of the ZCON event that we had fun with. Crazy
from
eyes.
Tony. I think he's talking about the Steve Buscemi comments. What movie was that? Mr. Deeds? Yeah, I think he's talking about the Steve Buscemi comment in Mr. Deeds.
Yeah, he was like, he goes, I don't know. He kept trying to cast a spell on me.
Yeah. You sure he wasn't waving? Oh yeah.
All right, going down the line. What else we got?
Another comment from Tony, which was actually very technical. He mentioned about how narrow those. If you saw those videos about the Formula E tracks, they're very narrow. It comes to not only a technical drive, but you see a lot of collisions between drivers competing for that space, which has been a trend for a majority of these F1 races. Of this entire season, the 15 races, only one was on an actual track. Everything else is done on city streets, or in this case, at an airport. So it's been curious.
Check out the big brain on Ben.
Check out the big brain on Brad.
All right, my boy Ben. What's up? All right. Anybody else up?
No, that's
Mon's gonna nerd out. I already know him. Every time I see his comments, I have to breathe because he has so much knowledge in those. I'm like, I swear to God.
Did when we were talking about the whole trademark debacle between Nissan and Ford, he was talking about the Maverick was a car when a patrol, and now a truck. Oh, sorry, Maverick was a car and then a patrol. And now a truck. Ford and Nissan had a relationship. They did. You know what's funny? Again, we're gonna nerd out for a second. If you ever owned, if your parents ever owned a Mercury Villager, you know what they really owned? They owned a Nissan Quest. You know what I mean? It was a rebadged Nissan Quest. A funny story. When I was in college, I took a business law class, and somebody had owned a Mercury Villager. And they hated it. So they went to the dealership to trade it in. And they said, we hate Mercury Villagers. The salesman sold them a Nissan Quest, which was the same damn van. And that couple, this is a true story. I read this. I got the book still. I swear to God, it's somewhere. That couple sued the dealership saying that they did not disclose that it was the same damn vehicle. But you know what I learned? The moral of the story is that silence does not constitute deceit. That's some crazy stuff. The dealership won.
What?
Random tidbit. Yes. The fact that the only way that Nissan or that dealership could have been convicted is only if the couple had asked, is this Mercury Villager just like the Nissan Quest? Had the dealer lied, then they would have been guilty. But the fact that they were silent about it, they were fine. There was no. They won the conviction.
Damn, homie!
Crazy.
Hilariously awful.
Isn't that crazy? That was 15 years ago in a college course. I can't believe I remember that stuff, man. But it was Nissan. It was Nissan related. I think that's why I remember it. So
is that why Is that why it's related?
Yeah.
So, oh my God! It's like,
that's some nerding out for you.
And how much of the Ford stuff is Mexico based anyway? Come on now. It's
Good
like
point.
it's made in
Good
other
point.
countries. Come on. Just a ticket. I mean, for real, it's like, you're buying something and it's like 60% this and 10% that. I mean, we're not going to nerd out too much on that. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Well,
we're
everything
gonna
was
talk about
cars these
why it-
days aren't confined to just one country these days. It's what they call
Yeah.
universally sourced parts. The company may have originated in a certain company, but these days, because of the supply chain and much less the internet, like you can communicate across oceans, like that,
Instantly.
so that's what they call university sourced parts. So
And this is
it's
why some countries do not let certain vehicles into their country unless a majority of it is based in one particular country
yes,
for lawsuit purposes. I'm just saying that because of all the drama that's happened in the past. I'm just saying.
yes, it's true. It's true. I have heard that there are rules that a certain percentage of those parts must come from a certain country to be qualified for certain whatever the topic is in terms of
Yeah.
safety
You,
or
the
origin. Yeah.
UK is coming down pretty hard on that, especially for everything that's hybrid and above with the E stuff. We're gonna nerd out. I mean, we're slipping into nerddom right now. I'm just saying what
So
I'm just
let me
saying.
ask you something. Is it just
Oh, here goes Ion.
Here
Here
it
goes the
comes.
dirty onion. He's been drinking dirty onion. Go.
so is it
Go.
the majority of it all being in one country, or is it really the traceability of the parts?
Well, it depends on it depends on the company's integrity, I'm sure. But yes, I think it's the traceability of the parts. Let's say you have control arms, 60% of the car. So that can be anything: control arms, alternators, could be a back seat, whatever it is. But by percentage, the number of components on that vehicle, whatever. I mean, every manufacturer is different, but there is, in some cases, a particular amount that by percentage that has to be from a certain country.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, check that out. All right. We're not going to nerd out on this because Ion, I love you to death, but you're an uber nerd and you're perfect for the show, but you're going to kill time.
That's
I
the
already
funny
know
part about Ion is that yes, you're right. It with like Miles, you and myself, having just been on a road trip with Ion, we know that when he's quiet, he's thinking.
That's it. It's
And
all.
he's
He's writing
thinking,
a.
and
He's
those
writing
questions.
it's a college thesis in his head that's going down. That's going to be about 30 pages too long. I'm just telling you right now because the professor's going to see it, and he's going to see it, and he's just like, God damn it, it's him. And he's like, I'm just going to put an A- on it because I don't want to read all this crap. So so we have to cut it short. I'm not saying you didn't fake your way through college, Ian. I'm just saying you gave too much info. That's how you got your master's degree. So Merry Christmas. It looked like NASA typed up the damn article. We got to
Moving on.
Moving on, but before we do, we got to give comments. Ben
Oh,
had a pretty
yeah.
good one.
Now, Ben had a really good comment. Thanks. This is a compliment to you, Ion. Ion, you are dangerously smart.
Oh,
That's
you're feeding the ego.
uh,
Feeding the ego. He's like gonna go and do some things to himself later on tonight, and it's all because of you, Ben. Not in that way, but just because you're building up that ego. You're building up the ego. Oh no.
Yep. So,
No.
Miles, let's try to let's kind of transition to our favorite section of the night, which I think we're all waiting for. We're talking about Back Alley Chat, the ZCON edition. Now, guys, for those of you that are online, if you didn't know, we just got back from a 9-day road trip together, us three. Imagine what you're seeing right now for 9 days straight in a minivan traveling across the country. This is what it's been like. It's been wonderful. I won't lie. But
Say, out of 9 days, I've learned a lot about the gastrointestinal internals of my friends here. Ion is not really allergic to too much. Mike is lactose intolerant and refuses to acknowledge that. You see, you're getting angry, and this is what happens. That's it. The first
is there
is anger.
Is there a test that I can take? Like, cause you
Eat lots
claim
of
that,
cheese.
but I've never taken a test.
Yeah, it's called not eating cheese, bro. That's all you got to do. Stop eating cheese. I'm telling you right now, you are lactose
But-
intolerant.
Now, is it a 1 or a 0, or are there varying degrees of
No, it's all
intolerance?
horrible. As soon as cheese hits your mouth, you blow a rear main seal. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm telling you, as a friend, from a friend to a friend. Yeah, dude, for real. You need to change your oil. I mean, I'm just telling you right now. That is not right. That is not right. That's
I'm gonna
that's
plead
a
the
leak
fifth
down
on this
test.
one, man. But yes,
That is a leak down test. That's it. For real, for real.
for real, for real.
Anyway,
Not for real,
move-
but for real, for real.
But
Yeah.
for real, for real. But for real, for real. I'll get ghetto. For real, for real. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, so we learned a lot about each other. We laughed, we hugged, we prayed, and whatever else the bathroom wall expression is. We had a great time. We started out our trip. We left. We picked up a minivan because it was fitting of what we were attempting to do. We picked up the Dodge ST model, whatever it was.
GT model, GT Grand Caravan.
I was like, I need the fastest minivan you can make, which is a weird request at a rental desk. But I was like, there's a Chili's gift card in it for it that might have $10 on it. That might be yours. I'm just saying.
Just
If
saying,
you can make that happen.
make
And
it
guess
happen.
what? They made that happen. And we got a weird Dodge minivan that was like already like just ragged out. Like somebody had already smoked the front tires and the
The
shocks were all
suspension, the
shot. And I was
shocks were
like,
just. Woo.
it was destroyed. And they were like, is this good enough? And I was like, it's perfect. This is exactly what we need for the next 9 days.
We're only driving
So-
along. We're only driving on roads along the mountainside. I mean, yeah.
No, and we're like, we're gonna
With no guardrails.
autocross
It's
this.
fine.
At every stop. We're gonna autocross this and enjoy ourselves. So we did that. Our first day we made it into Albuquerque, New Mexico, so we could spend some time there,
We
go
did.
see some friends and family. While we were there, what did we do while we were there? We went to the Breaking Bad house
We did.
because you have a weird addiction for Breaking Bad.
Well, it was a good show. So yeah, last summer
You've been
we-
breaking
we-
my
we had-
top about going to the
yeah.
Breaking Bad house.
I had
for
been break-
3 months.
I've been breaking your balls about the Breaking Bad house. Yeah, exactly. That's-
nice.
Yes. So yeah, I was a fan. It was down the street. It wasn't too big of a deal. We spent like 5 minutes there, but you know what? It meant the world to me. So thank you for being a friend on that one.
Yeah. It's like the
We,
Christmas story
It was
house
actually kind of
that
cool.
people don't know.
It was
Yeah,
cool.
It was good.
Yeah, it was
Even
cool.
though they have a big sign on the front saying "Go away" or like "We'll shoot you." I forgot what. Maybe I'm misinterpreting
That's
that.
about right. Yeah, that's
it
about
was
right.
They
pretty close.
repainted
Yeah.
the house. They want nothing to do with anything, but guess what? You can still take your pictures. So we
Yeah.
did that. What else did we do? Did we
The
go?
Unser
We went to
Museum,
the Bobby
Automotive
Unser
Museum.
Museum, which if you get a chance to go to the Bobby Unser Museum, I highly recommend it. It's actually a really cool Pikes Peak museum that
well.
you can check out. I
Yeah.
think it's just as good, if not rivals the Pikes Peak Museum that's in Colorado Springs, because there's just so much more there. And honestly, I didn't know that much about Bobby Unser and how cool of a dude he was.
Yeah.
So if you get a chance, definitely go check that out. Ion, what was your takeaway?
I mean, it was not just about Bobby Unser, but it was the entire Unser family.
Yes.
Yeah, and so there was a lot that I just
Cornelly
digested from that.
Jones. I
Cornelly
remember
Jones,
I saw Aunt Mario Andretti. There was a lot of like craziness that was going on with all those guys, and it was like this big. I don't know. I want to say like challenge, and they kind of talked about the histories of it starting. They're like, oh, we're going to make this crazy run up the mountain. And it's just like, it was insane. And they had so many cool cars there. And dude, remember the trophy museum that's there? Like the
Holy
winning.
cow.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And this
Yeah.
was like, this is only a portion of it. And like Indy, freaking everything. That family was in everything. So
It was
they
really.
even talked through the how the history of the tires. So there was a whole lot of
Yes.
nerding out about that. And
They
then
did.
also the progression of the engines and how they went through the various iterations and the size.
Different manufacturers. They had Cosworth and went
Yeah.
to Chevy, and
Yep.
the history. You not only that, but the displacement. You see how they got bigger. They went from a 4-cylinder to a small displacement V8. It was really, really cool, actually, and it's really cool. It was just coincidence, and it worked really well for us. The fact that the Unser family was so involved with Pikes Peak, which was where we were heading a few days later. So it primed the pump for us to kind of see what
It primed the pump. It got us from a 6 probably to maybe an 8. I mean, we're getting there. Not quite there. We're getting there. But yeah, I mean, honestly, the museum was amazing. We had a really good time. And then we spent a little more time. We went up the tramway, which is this big launch up the mountain. We had a good time with that. We went to go see Art Singer from the ZCCM magazine and help him fix wiper blades. Homie, for real. I'm the king of engine swaps, and you want to throw a wiper blade swap at me like I can't handle it? What's up, son? But kudos to our boy Nelson for letting us trample all over his Z31 Albuquerque graveyard in his backyard, which was
awesome
amazing.
Guy. Oh my goodness. The amount of parts that he's got over there, it's insane.
Yeah, kudos to him. We won't say too much because you'll have guys jumping the fences so they can.
It's a secret location. Let's put it that way.
Secret location. Yeah, for real. No more of that. So, but kudos to him. We had a really good time in Albuquerque. No pictures or anything that we want to show. No photo.
No photo. No photo.
No photo.
Yeah.
No photo. All right. And then after that, we spent a few days there, and then we made our way into away from Albuquerque to make our trek up to the Springs. I guess it's that way. We went through Madrid, New Mexico, which was famous for the Wild Hogs movie, which is the most male bonding movie that you can make in the last 15 years. Have you even seen Wild Hogs? I mean, for real.
You know what's funny about that is that the night that I saw it for the first time was when I was in between a motorcycle class, so I considered it homework. That the license as I should. That should be a prerequisite to getting your license. Like a state mandated
that movie. You're gonna get a motorcycle license. It's that movie. It's that one with Charlie Sheen where he joins a motorcycle gang as an undercover cop. Beyond the Limit, maybe. If I'm wrong, comments. Catch me. Catch me if I'm falling. You're gonna watch every Sons of Anarchy episode.
Sons of Anarchy.
What's that movie that came out with Brian Bodsworth where he joined a motorcycle gang? Back in the 90s, that's another one.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, don't you make me age myself. Come on. And that's it. And what else? What's another amazing motorcycle movie?
Another motorcycle movie. Oh, man.
You gotta watch
I'm being funny here, but Torque with was it Ice Cube and Torque? It was a bracket. It was a Fast and Furious for motorcycles. It was horrible.
That's the gauntlet right there, baby.
Weirdly enough, I actually know the movie you're talking about, and it was awful.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. That was the point. That was the point.
Tim, I have 5 fingers on this hand right now, but Tim O'Connor just threw out like a mutant finger. Cool as ice.
Cool as ice. With the vanilla ice one, yeah.
If I grew a 6th finger on this hand, it would be cool as ice. Kudos to Woody on the love. So, all right, moving along. We made it through Madrid. Mike bought a T-shirt. We moved on with our life and made it in. We made it up to Santa Fe. We spent. These guys hadn't been to a place called Meow Wolf, which is basically where you go to take LSD for the first time and enjoy your life.
You're not joking. Holy cow!
That is an understatement.
Yes. There. Tell me your experience. I've been there multiple times. Ion, drop the beat.
Man, it seems like every time you exit a room through. Not possibly a door, but maybe like through a dryer, right?
Yes.
You wander into like some other dimensional place, and it's just crazy, right? And then there's one place where it looks like you're you're basically in the middle of an aquarium. 3 seconds later, you see the aquarium in this little tiny little living room area, and you're like, wait, what happened here?
Yeah, it's like Alice in Wonderland just realized into like an adult. What would you call it? Like for grown-ups, this theme park. Yes, if I partook in any type of drug that would do anything like that, that would be the place to. It was a sober trip, I can tell you that much. I tripped out still.
And the way that the decor was set up, it was like everything was just kind of melting and doing this weird intrinsical like shit.
Yeah.
That was the drugs kicking in that I.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was really coincidence. I didn't really realize it until now. Miles, you gave us some brownies that morning, and I didn't understand why. Yeah.
With no
Now does it,
cheese, by
it's
the way.
all coming together.
No milk or cheese, by the way.
Soy milk psychedelic brownies.
Soy milk, because I care about you guys. I worry about you.
Wow.
So we did that. We had a really good time with it. Then we made our trip up to start our ZCON adventure. We made it
Yes.
into the host hotel, and before we get into anything, I want to give some love out to all the hardworking staff out there. Some of you folks are listening.
Yeah.
Some of you had a hand in all the hard work that it took to make a ZCON happen, especially in that area. Dude, kudos to you guys. We had a blast. Before we get into this massive amount of stories, I just want to give out the love and tell you guys that I had a great experience when we got there. As soon as we arrived at the hotel, we had a blast. So we rolled up in our dirty Dodge minivan.
By that time, yep.
By that time, we got there about a day late. And what did we do our first couple days, man? I totally forgot.
So as soon as we got there, it was time for the opening ceremony, which took place at the Flying W Ranch, which is very close to the base of the mountains, the west side of town. Beautiful. The Flying W Ranch, again, for who knows who's watching, if you're in from that area, take a look. Wonderful time, very scenic. There was
Ion Rocks.
Oh, Ion Found Rocks. That's right. So not only was this an opening ceremony, but this was an opportunity that Nissan corporate literally, meditated. They decided to reveal a virtual reveal of the brand new Z car at the same time as our opening ceremony, which I thought was a great, a very kind gesture that he can do to us as enthusiasts. Literally, we're talking about hundreds of Z enthusiasts traveling all along the country to one location, and that's where we got to live stream the reveal of the new Z, the Flying W Ranch.
A live stream with a new guy we hadn't seen, Das Gupta. Ion, was he your dad?
Oh,
Possibly.
that's
Gupta.
right.
It was my grand uncle.
Gupta. That's right. So I thought it was your buddy. I thought it was your dad. But
It was my great uncle. Come on.
there you go. But yeah, very cool. They did the launch, and then everybody had a really good time. They had some cars out there for us to check out. It kind of went a little blurry for me for a little bit after that. I did want to say that we shortly after that, for those that don't know, Nissan actually dropped the Nissan in Times Square in New York at the exact same time. So they actually pushed out the yellow and the blue one out there. And from talking to some of the Nissan execs, they held it out there for maybe an hour or two with no security issues, no problems. They had a great launch from what they said. So kudos to Nissan for putting that together out there. And then I think shortly after that, we just kind of made our way home. We actually gave our good friend Art Singer a careful ride home in our minivan that was secure.
Miles, I love how you mask what really happened. Now we gave. Am I going to have to be the person who has to tell you what really happened? Can I?
Why not? Go, please.
So let's just start off
Know
by
your
saying that
lines.
this is a brand new van. I mean, very low miles, very recent. And also, Art is not very technical savvy with the new thing. There's
Art the dinosaur.
these side doors you can't just do them by hand. You push a button. And so Miles decides we're all getting into the van, Miles decides to leave right away. None of us are even secure. There's no seatbelts on yet. There are no.
Can I just say this?
Ah,
I figured out that the doors are automated. If you press a button, the doors will begin to close at the same time. But if you do a 1G launch with the Dodge, those doors don't have enough strength to fight those motors, so they
yes.
just slide back,
It just
and then
slides back.
everybody in the car is exposed to the atmosphere, if you will, and it makes for an amazingly funny experience in the driver's seat.
Yes. And
when
it
you're
just so
driving.
happens
So-
that you take a left turn, which means that Art's not only is Art's door open and his seatbelt is undone, but you take a left turn, which literally wants to throw him out of the van. So he is like, he's like inches away from death, and he's all like, "Where's the door handle?" He's just freaking out, man. Oh man, it was wonderful. Great start to our
Yeah.
Colorado trip.
I'm going to
for
tell you
sure.
right now. Read the owner's manual before you get in the car. That's all I'm
We
going to
did.
say. Take some self responsibility.
There was-
I can't be the guy who's responsible for everybody in the car. Come on now. So
Hey, Art, we love
moving
you.
along. Art, we love you. If I scared you a little bit, took a few years off your life, they were the bad ones at the end. Nobody wanted those anyway. Moving along. What else was a big highlight for ZCON? We did the car show, the first judging car show. That was amazing.
First car show.
Nissan ZCON does a really good prejudge car show. We did the Z reveal shortly after that. Remember that?
Mhm. Yes,
The
yes.
Z reveal came out, and it was over at Pikes Peak International Raceway. We had a blast. So
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. That was on Thursday. We
it all runs together, baby. It all runs
it all
together.
Miles's memory's a little a little scattered there. But yes, yes, yes. If you want to jump into that day was awesome, by the way. So we were just talking about Nissan's reveal, that digital reveal, specifically of the blue car in New York, right? What Nissan literally did for us, which I think I'm just so grateful for, is that as soon as that reveal was done and they took it to Times Square, they literally loaded that same car, put it on a semi-truck, and drove it all the way to Colorado Springs so that on Friday morning at noon, and they were sharp, right as soon as the clock turned 12 o'clock noon, they opened the garage door and revealed that same car to us in person at Pikes Peak International Raceway. There was a very nice presentation by the executive that was there, and Tamura-san was there. We got to see the first time this car in person.
Yeah.
Like, what a moment. I'll never forget it. I swear to God.
Yeah, and Tamura-san was there to sign some very
Posters.
Nissan produced some magazine or some posters for us, and he was actually there to sign some of the posters for the new model. So very cool thing. And then shortly after that, the Z went on the track for a photo shoot. I want to give a big shout out to my boy Ben, who actually just pretty much grabbed me by the throat and threw me into the lead car, which was a 2022
Yes.
Nissan Frontier. Yeah, so I love that guy. Kudos
Can I
to him.
stop you for a second, Miles? I need to tell everybody. I don't know what it is about you, but you find yourself into the most craziest and fun, like memorable situations. I don't know how you do it, but yes, for those of you who had seen our Facebook channel, there was a particular video that we had. It was Miles. It came from your camera, Miles. You were in the bed of the brand new Frontier, and
No.
you were being
Kudos.
chased. Uh-huh.
Let me retract it because I had zero camera gear and Ben just grabbed me by the throat and he basically said, yo, you're getting in the car with me. We're going to take some photos. I'm like, I only have my camera, my little iPhone camera with a kitten on it. And you're just like, looks like you're going to shoot with that. I'm like, oh, so that's it. And we just jumped in the car, and then all the guys from Sushi Roll. And then we also got
Larry Chen.
The legendary Larry Chen, super cool dude.
So
and and he was just like, "Oh, do you want to be in the car seat? Where do you want to be?" I'm like, "Be in that truck bed because I don't give a damn. I'm born in the ghetto. I love being in the truck bed." And then Larry Chen jumped in with me, and we just had a great time. And we just shot everything, and it was just great to see him work. Great to see all the Z1 Media team, to see the Sushi Roll guys, the Spring Roll guys, do their amazing job. Yeah. And kudos to them if they're on tonight. So
let's not forget what the hell we just did though. So you're in the bed of this brand new Frontier, but behind you, you're taking live footage of the brand new Z car on the track at Pikes Peak International Raceway on a closed track day. This was not open to the public. This was Nissan Z enthusiasts specifically on this track, and you have a live feed of this car on the track for the first time. We posted this video on our Facebook channel. We got the most views we've ever had. We've got a hell of a lot new members. I think we definitely promoted 38,000 views, bro. We had a ton of views of that one video that came out of your simple little phone, like you said, man.
Whoa. Simple.
Hey, it's simple, but it did the job, man. It was
Show the
Sometimes
respect.
that's all you need.
Show the respect. So, well, actually, let me show you. We'll run into the background while we just kind of fart around. So, give me 1 second here. Meow, meow, meow.
You gonna take care of it?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
So, in the meantime, you can as you set that up. Are you ready already? Yeah. Hey, there you are. Oh, boom! Look at that.
So we're just sitting in the back of the new 2022 Frontier, which has an amazing truck bed. If you're ever going to put your kids back there, by the way, I highly recommend it. So
this is Miles' view from the back of the truck. This is again the Z car, and you've got 100 Z's behind it, doing these photo shoots showing heritage and the homage to the Generation Z cars that are
they did a great job.
Before it.
The Z committee really did a good job. You know, a funny little side story on this one is, so I'm sitting there and I'm like the middle guy in between Larry, who's like working all his magic, and he's like yelling at people and lining up the cars. But you hear like Ben in the background kind of scream. He was like, guys, we're rolling on fumes. So I'm laughing because I have zero stake in the game. I'm just kind of watching the whole time, and so kudos to everybody for orchestrating everything that it took to kind of make this happen. Great photo shoot. You know, everything that I saw from the cameras from these guys were just nothing but gold. And the whole time, Larry's just kind of, in a sense, getting off on just everything that was done from that. I mean, it's just amazing. Everything that we ever shot from it is just gold. You know, watching him, I'm sure everything he shot from it is nothing but amazing. So kudos to him. Kudos to the Spring Roll guys. Kudos to Ben, who also did a lot of active work too there, shooting his own stuff. I just want to say thank you guys. I had a blast for that few moments of doing that stuff. So
absolutely.
I owe Ben like an infinity of beers for just that one lifetime experience. So
I'm sure he's going to hold you to that too, man.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
So
now,
go.
Oh, now you kind of fast forward a little bit from the opening night to the track day with the new Z car. Now, I want to highlight two other events that happened in between that, which I think either we remember or we don't remember. I think for the three of us, if we collectively put our memories together, it might help. The first one was actually really, really cool. We were all having a great time. We went to Pikes Peak. Obviously, when you're in Colorado Springs, which is the home of Pikes Peak, you've got to make a trip. Not only for the sheer beauty of it, for being 14,000 feet above sea level and just seeing the curvature of the earth, for God's sake. That's one thing. But secondly, even as an automotive enthusiast, you realize that trail up into the Pikes Peak in general, a lot of cars didn't make it. I mean, we have friends that were participating and driving. Some lost their clutch because their fluid was overheating.
Yeah, the trend was you boil your clutch on the way up, and then you fry your brakes on the way down.
On the way down, yeah, exactly. I mean, so
but at least they had stops for folks to check their brake temps, which is kind of good.
That was kind of cool, though. Yeah, that's right. The national agency that runs Pike Peaks has a stop station, and they have fluid. I'm not sure if you looked inside their station. They had every type of oil that you can think of lined up, ready for sale.
I noticed that.
For any reason that you were running low, which was really cool.
At 148% markup.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do.
Exactly.
Pay them bills, baby. I got kids to feed. All right.
Yeah. We rolled up with
bears to feed. Come on.
The
We had
Bears.
an
Yeah.
opportunity to go up, and I just want to give a shout out to Ben from Skillard, Penn Lillard. Him and his sister were nice enough to take us,
Yeah.
which is an ordeal on itself. If you're inviting all three of these nerds to be in the car with you, he was nice enough to take us up all the way to the Tizzy Top, and we had a blast. We were just kind of shooting the breeze the entire time up, and I want to say, for those that don't know, Skillard already makes amazing parts. So again, you can check them out at Skillard through Facebook or one of their many other websites that they occupy. But Ben is an amazingly cool guy, and they just amazingly detail oriented. He was telling us about some of the new products that he has coming up. But again, a very nice guy for just taking us on a trip all the way up there in his Toyota Tacoma. I won't say anything about that, Ben.
Tundra. Yes.
Tundra.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
let you slide on it, homie. But just needless to say, though, very very cool experience to go up there with them. We definitely made some new friendships with that. So
Absolutely, man. Now there was one other event that we all participated in uh, with the ZCON experience, and that was a invasion to Denver. We actually traveled to Denver for a
was that the
drinking
same
night.
night? Was that
That was the same night. Pikes Peak that
Okay.
morning,
It
Denver
was.
that
My
night.
memory
That
is
was a
shot, man.
busy
I
day.
thought that was all one night. So one day. This is how
That's
it
not,
happened.
that's what I was talking about our collective memories. We're gonna have to work together to piece this one together, man.
That's what Burning Man does to you kids. Stay off the stuff. Moving on. Just
Well, it
so
was only days
Nissan.
after the Meow Wolf.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So moving along, the Nissan Invasion, for those that do not know or were not lucky enough to attend the invasion itself, basically the ZCON convention actually happened in Colorado Springs, and they would bus people into Denver to go and then let you free on the city, as it were,
Yep.
to do what you will, which for me just means nothing but applying my rules that I have in place
Miles,
for such an invasion night. It is. Can I just say
go ahead.
it's it's 5 bars in 3 hours. So. And that's a marathon. I'm just going to tell you right now, not all people can keep up, and we lose a lot of people along the way. But in this particular case, we had a blast. So we started off
Yeah.
our night. Mike, I'll let you tell the tale from this point.
Okay, so let's start with the bus trip up to Denver from Colorado Springs. That in itself was about an hour and a half. Thankfully, well, should I even say that? I don't know if that's the right word. We had a little pregame drink on the way on the bus, getting us
Yes, we
primed
did.
for the night. Now, when we got to Denver,
Thanks to
yeah,
Ion and his high grade
thanks to
whiskey.
Ion and his clever ideas.
Kudos.
Yes,
Dirty Onion was in full effect.
Dirty
And
Onion
we
was doing
honestly
his thing.
we caught the last bus out. So all the people all jumped on that first bus, and we just kind of did back of the bus all cool and collect. So we chilled, and then we got the last bus, and it was really just us and like two other people, and
Yeah.
we found a brand new friend at the back of the bus. Jake from State Farm. Jake, I don't know. He was supposed to be on, but he might have already
From
tooled
State
off
Farm?
tonight. But Jake from State Farm was who we adopted for the night. You remember Jake?
It was Jake. He from St. Louis, but yeah.
Jake from State Farm. Jake from State
Yes.
Farm was our boy, and then he was just like, "Hey guys, I don't know anybody here. I'm new to this school. Will you guys be my friends?" And I was like, "Yes, Jake,
Adopted.
we will. But you chose the wrong friends.
Yes.
Merry Christmas. Come with us."
Jake has
So-
no idea who the hell he just met. Yeah.
No, he just met the devil, son. The devil.
Yes. The
And,
devil.
it's Quinsu Ocha, the white devil. So we land in Denver. They drop us off at a washateria for the Caucasianly influenced. That is a laundromat. And they dropped us off in the middle of freaking nowhere. And every bus driver said they were from St. Louis. I don't know what that was about, but it was one of
Yeah.
those stop asking me questions, shut up and get on the bus, is the way I took that.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
said, you know what? I'm going to find the bars from here. We found our bars, and then we send out the call out to the homies through the text. Woo-hoo! And then all the homies landed at our first bar, which was
Yes.
Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, which is WTF for those that
Yeah.
don't know. And we got our first drinks in. We got our first
Yes, we did.
food in. That was the only food you guys were going to get
It's
for
the
the night.
only food
And
we
then
had for the night.
we lined up with our boy Alfred. We lined up with Dirty Lucas.
Dirty Lucas,
And then
Eric, Billy.
Eric.
We also made friends with Matt's, and he had his the girlfriend was there too. The whole crowd. We made a party out of it, for God's sake. I know that when we got there.
Yeah.
Now I know that when we got started, we started at WTF, right? And
may I just say, for those that don't know, I absolutely love Mike D with all my heart. But if you want to see anger come out of Mike, anything over a double-digit charge for a single drink will anger this man to another level.
Dude,
they present. Hold on, let me finish. If you present him with a $12 charge for a drink, he will burn that mother down.
Can I explain myself?
Yeah, you're on a budget. We get it. Just
budget is one thing, but when it's 20 minutes behind, you wait 20 minutes for a lukewarm drink that's now. It was a $15 drink for one drink, and it's that bougie. We should have known it was one of those bougie bars where you only get dude, I'm not sure if you can see. It's so little, man. It had like a mint leaf in it. I'm like, get that shit out of here, dude.
He's still angry.
Where are we going?
It could have been the coldest drink. I could have ran it through 3 glaciers, and it still would have been cold enough because you know why? It's a double-digit charge. The man can grind 2 pennies together. I'm telling you, I absolutely love Mike D with all my heart. But you know what? I had a mission after this point in my mind brain. Party Miles said, you know what? We got to get Mike drunk tonight. And that's your one mission, Miles, is to make his life better. So guess what? We went to bar after bar, and I incorporated my 5 bars in 3 hours rule.
In 3-hour rule. 5 bars, 3 hours. We did it. Miles, essentially, you were the herdsman. By the end of the trip, I know that you had to wrangle us. We were always wanting to go in our own directions. You had to say, "Hey, the bus is this way." You were the shepherd.
Yeah. So I was. If that's a herding motion or an ass slapping motion, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure where we're going with this one here.
So we made our way to our final bars, and then at a certain point, I like to start off with bars, get the intoxicity level up there, and then from there, I like to drop a nightclub, like a dirty old salsa nightclub. Or something fancy like that, or a biker bar, whichever comes my way. So I found that we were going to go into a dance club, which is weird because you guys don't strike me as salsa dancers that much,
dude.
But I'm going to just say right now,
salsa dancing?
No, I don't know if it was salsa dancing, but it was a dancing bar, which was odd. I mean, it wasn't odd, but like for us, I think we were already inebriated enough. Well, we were just go with the flow. If you wanted us, if we wanted to dance, we were already going to dance no matter what. The music was great. The music was great, right? But for everybody else around us, they saw like 10 guys walk into a bar with cargo shorts and flip flops and cars.
Can I just say,
shirt with a car.
Don't finish. We're all wearing the same freaking shirt. Half of you fools are wearing badges from Nissan, from the ZCON. We look nerd as F. But guess what? We're old folks that have credit cards, and we're running the bar at that point. So we're having a blast. We're having a good time. And I'm just saying, we're at a particular bar, and Ion, of course, for those that don't know, Ion has one outfit. And that's cargo shorts and flip-flops. That's how he was born wearing that outfit. I'm just telling you right now. That's how I've known this guy for 15 years. That's all he's worn in that entire. He showed up at my wedding in cargo shorts and flip-flops. That's how he rolled. But guess what? He is on the dance floor rocking flip-flops in cargo shorts. I haven't seen somebody get that much action in cargo shorts since Vietnam. For real. He was slapping asses. He was taking drinks. That's how my boy does it. And that's how the Dirty Onion gets down. I'm just telling you right now.
You know what's funny? The part that I do remember from the nightclub was that now everybody, this is kind of traditional with any nightclub, where the people that are on the dance floor are kind of in a circle, right? And then it's every once in a while, it's somebody's turn to get in the middle of the circle, do a dance, do a little thing for a couple seconds, and then walk out, right? So I'm there, and I already in my mind, I'm thinking about it, right? Someone pushes me. I don't even know who. Like, if
What's
you're
your
out
power
there,
move?
reveal
What's your power
yourself.
move? You got
It,
one
it
move.
was Miles. Come on, that's who it
Now,
was.
This was my power move. This was my thing.
The schmoot pump is your move. The schmoot pump is your move.
Schmoot
For
pump.
those that don't know, go back and watch our YouTube video. That is Mike's power move. The power thrusting for ladies that see this and want to get with my boy Mike Schmoot.
Yeah.
This is what you're getting.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. The power schmoot.
No.
That's
Well,
it.
that's funny. That's funny, man. No, the funny part
schmoot
about
pump.
it was that I was dancing, and obviously I spilled my drink, which was fine. Hey, I mean, it is what it is. Now, the
Drink
funny,
3 times, son.
the funny part is that there was one of those tents already in the middle of the dance floor that said "wet floor" or whatever. Like, it had already happened. It wasn't just me. So I improvise. At that point, I'm like, oh crap, I'm in the middle of everybody and I'm not doing anything. So I grab the sign and I start like swinging the sign like a dance move. Like I totally played it off. At least in my mind I did. I'm not sure if anybody was there.
There's not a lot of parts that I sober up for a time, and just because this goes back to me when I was like, for those that don't know, I was a bouncer for a short amount of time at a really ghetto club. So I kind of speak bouncer, which is kind of a hidden language for those that don't know. So I'm kind of standing back and I'm like, all right, these fools are getting out of control. I got to get them to a bus. In my mind, like, I got 45 minutes. Let them party out for another 25 minutes. And then I'm doing this like drunk math in my head because I got to get them there. A bouncer comes up next to me and he was like, yo, are these guys with you? And I was like, yeah, yo, they are with me, yo. And like I said, language. So we start getting into linguistic bouncer stuff. And I'm like, yo, these guys, VIP, bro, yo. Don't mess with them, yo. They are Nissan VIP, yo, no problemo, yo.
Yo.
And it was just like, and we were good. And honestly, that's what happened. Is like I was like, hey, these guys are like, I had to like lie because you guys were at that level where like we should be out in the alley getting our asses kicked. So anyway, I managed to eventually get Ion off of some poor girl who he was grinding on. I'm pretty sure you fathered a child. We're moving on. We're walking down the street, and then I get him into the bus. And this is where I do owe some apologies. After I get him into the bus at that point, I herded all of our folks into, and we began to just basically take over this bus. Jake from State Farm, if you're still with me, was on the 1s and 2s with his iPhone.
He was, yes.
He was Mr. Music, dropping the hard beats.
Yeah.
We turned that bitch into a nightclub in the touring bus. It was a blast,
dude. It was kicking that on the way back.
Yeah, and I need to share the screen here just a hair because I need to give some kudos out to my boy. Tony, because quite honestly, with Tony, I may have kissed him and slapped him and shown him way too much love than I normally would a normal person in reasonable conditions. So for Tony, I'm giving you free ad time at this time. So for those that don't know, check out Retromotive, Driven by Your Dream on Facebook at Retromotive TX. Tony, if you're still listening, please give up your address at this time. Tony is... honestly, I don't even have to sell it because Tony is an amazing painter. He does some amazing things with motorcycles, cars, and helmets. If you want a cool-ass helmet done, give it up for Tony. I absolutely love Tony, who's a father-to-be with Nina. Hopefully, Tony is the father. And I'm just going to say right now, Nina, if you're listening, which I know you are, we absolutely love you. You're one of the tribe. We did name the baby that night.
Yes, we did.
We named the baby. I forgot what I think it was Delicious. Oh, man, what did we name that baby? I can't remember. We'll come up with it here in just a little bit. But yes, kudos to Tony. Here's your free ad space. Retromotive. If you got helmets, if you got cool things that you need done,
Yeah.
I don't need to sell it because Tony is amazing. He does amazing paint work. If he still lived in Texas, I would have him do my own vehicles. So I absolutely love Tony. I love Nina, and I wish you guys the best. And kudos to your new baby, which I hope, Tony, it's yours. Yeah, what happened after
Congratulations!
Congratulations!
Yay!
Yay!
Love you.
Yes. So, Miles, you're talking about what was going on with that night. I made a nice little slideshow. If that's okay, can I
No,
share?
you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yes, dude. Well, I had a well. What else am I going to show the
Ion,
parents?
I'm going to tell you right now, this is not going to be complimentary towards the two of us. And guess what? It's going to be complimentary only to Mike, because guess what? Mike was not in the best of situations on that long. I'm just going to say.
My
This is what
mood,
happens.
by the way,
Yeah.
contrary to what you were talking about the double-digit drink, my mood changed pretty quick eventually. I think you'll see nothing but
You
smiles.
ended up having a pretty good time there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, I will tell you what. For those, before we get into it, Retromotive, 604 South Lee Street, America's GA 31709. Yes, I did slap Tony a lot, and I absolutely love him.
Yes.
Check him out. We'll give him free ad space when we go full production. Tony, you get a year of ad space for free just because
Tony. I think I have some of those pictures of some of that slapping, and maybe.
Oh my God!
Yes. Well, it's in my slideshow, guys.
He gets a year of free ad space. Leave him alone. Moving on. All right.
I think it's in my slideshow, guys. So you just got to go ahead and let's go ahead and enjoy this for a second here. I bring you. Some of y'all might get the reference on this one. I bring you Nissan Nerds Night Out. Dun dun. Where's the sound? Where's the noise? Any noise?
Hold on. You want the what? Hold on. Slow your roll.
Pick.
You
pick.
Quick.
Nothing.
That's what I got. Go.
I'm gonna go. All right.
Go.
Nissan Nerds
Hit
Night
me.
Podcast.
Go.
Boom. First one. Hey, it's a great night. Look at all of us. Miles, myself. We got Freddie with us. Ion. We got Billy in the back. Eric, Lucas, and that's Gary in the far left. You can't see him, but we all have drinks. We're saying kanpai, having a great time.
Yeah,
Getting the night started.
I sold Billy for drugs somewhere in the middle of the night.
What?
I sold Billy for drugs. Moving on.
Okay, moving on. This is the start to our night in Denver, right? A great time. Everybody smiles. Everybody's having a great time. Boom. Next one. All right, we're at a rooftop bar in Denver. Miles, at this point, I believe this first picture, that's your hat, right, Miles?
That is my hat.
All right.
Yeah, that's my hat that I would kill anybody. It's kind of like my biker jacket. If it hits the dirt, I got to kill the guy who dropped it on the floor. But somehow you managed to take my hat, and that says a lot. I normally would kill anybody who touched my hat.
I don't know.
Was that the bar that Eric gave his shirt away to some guy?
He gave his shirt to a guy, and then anyway, yeah. All right, so there you go, myself. Obviously, I'm having a good time. I think my eyes aren't even looking at the camera. You got Lucas with this, of course, giving the great sign here. We're all having a great time at this rooftop bar.
Can I just say that is an amazing Walmart Pikes Peak, Colorado shirt. That is the nicest Walmart Pikes Peak, Colorado shirt I've ever seen.
That was a gift shop. That was at Manitou Springs. It wasn't. Yeah, it's Manitou, but it
whatever.
Is what it is.
Moving on.
Okay, next one. Moving on in our trip. Again, this was 5 bars in 3 hours. Getting to the next one. What do we have? Miles is all right. He's sliding down rails. Obviously, he's helping us herd. He's guiding the way, herding these 12 dudes.
It's my skill set. Moving on.
Yes. Moving on. Next one. What we got? Oh, shoot. Scene missing. I don't know what happened. There was some scene missing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's one of yours.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And we threw that in there. Now you don't want to make yourself look bad in case you make it into show business one day. Whatever.
This is my. This is my screen show, so I can do whatever I want. That's what.
All right, go on.
Next one. Boom. Dude, where did this? Okay, I don't even know where. Honestly, dude, I'm being truthful with you. I don't know where this cart came from. I think we were heading back to the bus, and who found the grocery cart?
Dude,
I'm gonna
I
tell
don't
you
know.
right now,
I just looked behind me, and all of a sudden there was somebody in the shopping cart.
carts found their way to me. Moving on. So
Okay,
let's do it.
granted, I still have the hat. I always want to call that out. I still have your hat.
At least you have my hat. At least you have my hat. Moving on. That's the
Next
most
one.
important thing of this.
Okay, so we got a blurry
Aw.
picture. I guess I'd given Lucas a ride. Lucas, this cart
Was
must
that
have
what
fell
happened?
over. He's
Like
dead.
he just got killed
And
somehow.
like everything else you own, you crashed it, and we lost a man. We lost Lucas.
We lost Miles in the back walking up, trying to, I guess, set some order to it.
Yeah.
Next one here, we've got. So here I am, Miles. Miles. This is what I'm talking about with Miles. Is that he'll hurt you, but he'll also he's the big brother you never wanted. I swear to God, Miles. Like you're trying to help him up, but where is your hand? Where are you placing his hand? I don't.
So just to be clear, so Lucas is already killed anyway, right? He's down for the count, and he gets kicked while he's at it.
Yes, he's getting kicked on by Miles. Again, we're trying to find the bus in time. That's the crazy part, man. This is just ridiculous, man.
Moving on.
I love the view. This is downtown. This is the allure of downtown Denver. By the way, folks.
Such a beautiful escape in the background while I'm putting my Doc Martens on somebody's crotch. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Moving on.
Moving on.
This is the bus, Tony.
There's Dirty Tony.
Tony.
This is the
Get
Tony.
there.
Yes, you are, buddy. We got you going on, man. This is the Miles affection that he's apologizing for now. This is the proof.
I love Tony. You know, Tony. Me and Tony went to Tony, and Nina all went to Japan together. And Tony, I absolutely love because he's an awesome dude. So no weird things going on there. I just absolutely think he's a great individual, great human being, and he's got skills like nobody knows when it comes to the painting world. So moving along,
moving on. Next one. This was actually probably the nice way to sum it up here. We're all in the picture. There you go. Ions here. We got Miles, of course. Nina. We got Pinky with us. Billy. Jake is the DJ with the phone here. I'm in the hat. I still have the hat, man.
You do not have my hat.
I do. It's right there.
I would have shanked you already if you would have had my hat.
Yeah.
All right, but
overall,
I mean, honestly, I had a blast. It was a great time. So, I do want to show one thing if I could, Mike. Let me see here. I think
what do you got, Miles? I'm trying to find you here.
Oh no, you're fine. Don't worry about it. I got you. I would never do anything.
Please,
to,
let's maintain the integrity of the conversation.
We've never had integrity, Mike. Come on. So let's see here. If I could, please.
What did you do?
The screen. So I mean, I made a quick recap of what I thought went down that night. I'm just saying. But, you know, for those that don't know or didn't get a chance to experience the night, it kind of sums it up. So my boy, Mike, I absolutely love you, man. I just wanted to say I had a great time with you. Let's recap.
Yes.
Let's round it up. We are at an hour and 41 minutes. Jesus Christ.
We're breaking new records here tonight on the Nissan Nerd Podcast, aren't we? Yeah. So, yes, let's wrap up what our experiences here at ZCON. We had the opening night. We talked about the new Z. We talked about Pikes Peak, the amazing party night in Denver. Anything else that we're missing, Miles? I know a few takebacks was, of course, the closing ceremony and the tech talks. We had some great people.
Tech talks. I want to give a shout out to Schrader, who was actually from the Netflix show. He showed up. Super cool guy. Super really nice. Getting a chance to kind of run into him. Super enthusiastic about coming on the show and then spending some time with us. The guys from JDM Legends had a blast with. They were super nice. Spent a lot of time with them the weekend. Larry Chen, for those that don't know, amazing photographer. I can't say enough good things about him. Super, super nice guy. Mads Mike's birthday has been wanted to point out here. We had an opportunity to kind of celebrate that while we were out there.
Yes,
Kudos.
we did.
match, Ben.
Yep.
Good job.
Yep.
Let me think who else actually showed up. Of
Chris
course,
Forsberg.
the legendary Peter Brock. He was there. I caught a couple photos of him kind of walking the lot, as it were, all by
paddock.
himself when the paddock, when the Z Revoke came out. I just kind of spied on him and maybe stalker shot a little bit of photos on him, but he was checking out a lot of cool cars, and I've got some good footage on him. We dropped it on the podcast Facebook page. Who else was there?
Forsberg.
That was
Of course, Chris
Forsberg.
Forsberg and the
Forsberg
Ultimaniac.
and
Hi, Connor.
in the Ultimaniac, and not to mention, and definitely not to exclude, my boy Brian Highcotter. Absolutely love him. If you get a chance to check out anything that Highcotter's done from the GT Academy on, that guy is a legend, and he's an animal behind the wheel when it comes to racing. He did all the GTP cars, the GT1 cars, the GTRs. I mean, you can't put him in anything he's not going to kick ass in it. So Brian
Exactly.
Highcutter, amazing car. Forsberg, also a very amazing driver in his own right. Both those guys were great to kind of hang out with and check out. So yeah, one of these days we'll have to get Brian, maybe Mr. Forsberg, if they're willing to kind of come on the show if they got some time. So kudos. But yeah, I mean, I had a blast. We made our way back. I think that was just about everything that I wanted to kind of talk about from the event. Next year, the Z convention was released for what's happening for next year's location.
Yep.
Ion, where's it happening next year?
It's in Alabama, Birmingham.
Birmingham. Yeah, so the new information that will come out for the dates and all the deets on that is going to be out here pretty soon. But again, Birmingham, Alabama is where it's going to be dropping for next year's for ZCON. Yeah.
Yep.
Great time, guys. By the way, I don't know if I said this before though, but I haven't had a trip like that has been as memorable and fun since ZCON San Diego. That road trip. Ion, you were part of that road trip. Me and you. Same thing. I mean, guys, this was a long overdue trip for me personally. I had a great time with you guys, for good and bad, everything that it was. What can I say, man? Thanks for tolerating me as much as I tolerated you guys. You know what I mean? Overall, it went very well.
Yeah, that's the good thing about these events. I mean, we definitely get a chance to kind of bond, get some experiences like that. And yeah, I mean, for those that are still on this late at night, I mean, thank you for tolerating our crazy stories and all our crazy things that kind of come up. But yeah, Ben wanted to also mention out the LS3 Prima Donna Z32 that was out there. Yeah, also a very cool car. Tons of really cool cars. We threw a lot of those pictures up on our day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5 on our Nismo Fiesta Facebook page. We shared a lot of that to Instagram. You can check that out as well through that. You know, I just want to say kudos to Jeremy Stillwell for stepping up into the podcast tonight. For those that don't know, Stillwell used to handle the Nissan Heritage Garage here in the United States. He's no longer with Nissan, but he's still got a lot of good stories to tell. Maybe one of these days we'll get him on the show as well. I didn't want him to be left out, even though he sold out and went to Rivian, which is an up-and-coming truck manufacturer. But kudos to Rivian because they make a pretty badass truck. But I'm not going to say anything because it's a Nissan show. But yeah, again, kudos to everybody for coming and seeing us at ZCON. All the sponsors and the vendors that showed up, we had an opportunity to kind of roundtable.
Oh,
we're going to go into that probably next time, and we're going to start doing some shout outs to some of these vendors that we saw at ZCON just a few weeks ago. But yeah, I had a really good time. I had a really good event. I couldn't say enough good things about these two guys that I traveled with, especially all the people that were on with us here tonight. You know, it kind of just plays into that whole family, man. You know, whenever I go to a ZCON event or I go to most Nissan based events, you kind of feel like family. And that's one thing that you don't get in like something like a Porsche club. And I'm not trying to rat on those or rat into like a Ford Mustang club and trying to throw anything at them. But there's one thing about being an underdog dog group that you just have people that love what you love. And so when you guys get together, you maybe get a little crazier than you normally would. It's at another event. So, that's why we do what we do here at the podcast. We are a small community, and there was not a podcast that existed before us, because guess what? We needed to create that podcast to keep that community together. This is one of those things that keeps that community together. And we
Yes.
wouldn't be able to do it without you listening out there and without your support. So continue to support your community vendors, continue to support the brand Nissan, Datsun, and Infiniti, and then continue to support the podcast, of course. And as we grow and we build up over the next year, we have a big year plan for 2022. Again, just be out there, continue to support the brand. We want to say thank you again for all your support. And I want to say thank you to you guys for sticking with me for Jesus Christ 9 days. Not a lot of
9
people can handle
days,
that.
man. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's. I mean, I haven't spent that much time with my own brothers for 9 days straight, much less. So that says a lot about the time that I spent with you guys. So,
Man, I had
it's
an
good.
amazing time with the both of you. So thanks for having me along. I have to say.
Well, I had a good time with you too, and this is just a public apology for anybody that I might have kissed, slapped, loved too hard, loved too less.
Tony.
Hey, Tony.
Tony. But I want to tell you all that if we didn't get a chance to kind of run into you or hang out with you, Berto Maddox, some other folks that were out there, I really wanted to spend a lot of time with folks. Sometimes we get a little busy and crazy, but I had a really good time, and I can't wait to run into some more of you. Mike, Ion, I'm sure you're the same. We would love to see you guys when we see you next time, when we go out to a next event. We'll try to let you know when we are going to events so we can kind of get together, get a little crazy, get a little wild, maybe steal some hats, steal some shopping carts, do some craziness. 5 bars, 3 hours. What's up?
Watch out, Lucas.
Watch out, Lucas. Yeah.
We got you, Lucas. We got you, Lucas. So, got my eye on you.
Got my eye on you, Lucas. Dirty Lucas.
Anyway, do you need any more at backpats?
Yeah. Tony's asking if we're going to ZNets. It is in question, baby. It's in question. We're going to see if we can try to make it out.
We are 6 weeks away from that. Actually, a little less than that, 5 weeks. Yeah, actually, you know what? We've been talking about that. I have personally, I do want to go, Miles. If we're going to go, we need to go ahead and book our flights relatively soon. Let's get together on this one, man, to see what we can do.
Let's see if we can try to make that happen. It's an interesting year, but we'll definitely see if we can logistically make that happen. So we'll definitely let you know, Tony, as we move forward from there. By the way, Tony, you shouldn't be trying to make any plans right now because you got a baby on the way. All right. All right.
No,
and I'm pretty sure you are the father.
Right?
You are the father, Tony. So we're in the voice. So yeah, kudos.
Yeah.
But again, kudos to everybody. Thank you again for listening.
Yes.
Mike, take us out, baby.
All right. Again, for you guys, thanks a lot for being here. We have the Facebook page. Of course, I believe a majority of you guys are watching us through Facebook Live as we live stream. If you haven't liked our page already, please do. Same goes for sharing. If you got some friends that are Nissan enthusiasts, we're trying to grow and get this thing to catch fire, which it has. I'll be honest with you, we made a huge leap in participation and subscriptions during this ZCON. We made a lot of good friends. We passed around some stickers, some business cards. It was fruitful.
Made some love. Made some love, made some friends, lost some friends, made more love.
Exactly. Moving on. Now, we do also have an Instagram page. If you do a search, Nissan Nerd Podcast, find us. We have actually been growing this page more and more in the last 2 weeks. So you'll see a lot more happening. So if you are on Instagram, find us there. And lastly, we do have YouTube. If you can, find us, Nissan Nerd Podcast as well. And subscribe. These videos that you see here are cataloged very nicely on the YouTube channel. You can check them out in any order that you want, and they're always there for you. So if you're there, hey, we're gonna have this video on YouTube. I think within about 24 hours or so. And then as far as anything else, we are, this podcast started as an audio thing, Miles, right? So every podcast network that you can think of, we're talking Stitcher, Apple, iTunes, all the major networks. We are on it. Just simply search Nissan Nerd, and we are there. And lastly, Miles, we're talking about info at nissannerd.com. That is our direct line. If you've got an idea about some sort of topic that we should be talking about, or if you have an event that you would like for us to promote, go to info at nissannerd.com. Let us know what's going on, and we will go ahead and reply back to you guys.
That's it. We're done.
That's it. Yeah.
Go away. Go away.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Go away. Go away.
Go away.
Go away.
Go
away. My facial star says I don't want to be approached. Anyway, so yeah, kudos to everybody. Thank you again for tuning into another episode of Nissan Nerd Podcast. Until next time, go away. Hey guys, look what I found.
Oh my God, is that a Voodoo Hawks album?
That is a Voodoo Hawks album. If you get a chance.
Dude, they are so underrated, bro.
Underrated, for those that don't know. So kudos. Anyway, Ion, I want to say thank you, man, for coming on the show tonight. I know you had a busy schedule tonight, but yeah, man, I just want to tell you I love you. Hey, look at me in the face. Look at me right now. I love you. All right? I love you.
Thank you.
I'm worried now.
Speaking of another guy I love, Stillwell, I love you as well. I love everybody. Give me a hug. Come on, all you guys, give me a hug.
Oh,
give me a hug. Give me a hug.
Where's the hug? Where's the
hug? I love you so much.
Love you guys.
We'll see you guys next time. Nissan Nerd Podcast. Thanks again, guys. What?
I'm in the book. Call me.